Hi, I'm Trevor Lund from RevTrev.com, and I'm here with Cheryl Shea of EdmontonCounselingServices.com. Shea Counseling Services, actually. and um, she's agreed to answer questions from readers of RevTrev.com. And I just really appreciate her insight and her wisdom. And so, Cheryl, the question that I have for you today, um, and to be honest, I don't know if I got this kind of question, but I get emails all the time from people that they just, mm. The question I'm asking is, how do I recognize healthy spiritual authority? Because I get emails from people who have no idea what healthy spiritual authority is, and they are telling me all kinds of spiritual abuse situations, thinking that they're completely normal. And
Mm,
so, how can someone recognize healthy spiritual authority?
okay. Well, there's a few times at the end of Second Corinthians where Paul uses this phrase. He says, "The authority God has given me to build you up, not to tear you down."
Oh, that's a good
S-
one.
yeah, it's used twice in Second Corinthians. And I know this because a few years ago, when I was in the ministry called Mars Hill Center, we were doing monthly kind of meetings and worship nights, and I just really felt God saying you need to do something on spiritual authority.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it, thinking it was going to apply to a certain couple of people. And the day we did it, 10 people showed up, which doubled our size that night, who had come out of a spiritually abusive, basically a Bible based cult.
Mm-hmm.
And they had seen it, somehow had gotten the newspaper. They had seen it and came out, and I'm still friends with a couple of those people. So walking through, helping them to come free from that. So spiritual authority is supposed to build us up, not tear us down. And a few counseling corners ago, we talked about our purpose in life. We find that by knowing who we are created to be. So authority that builds us up helps us know who we are created to be. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the same as you, Trevor, or your wife, Karen, or anyone else. And if I'm sitting under someone's spiritual authority, they are not intimidated by my gifts, and they're also encouraged to see me grow and blossom into who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So they're free to release me into who I am. If the person in spiritual authority is always trying to control us and kind of almost tighten us in and make them in their image, that's not whose image we're created in. We're created in the image of God. Big image, not small image. Um, Spiritual authority also shouldn't be used um, to help us make everyday decisions. I mean, people in this group told me that for some of them, a few years before that, they wouldn't buy a car unless they asked their minister if it was the right car.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a little scary to me. People that won't get married to someone unless their pastors or elders in their church approve. Um, Different things like that. Those are not decisions that someone who's a pastor or whatever should be making in our lives. Those are decisions we should be making as adults in Christ in our own lives. So there's a stepping over
Yeah.
those boundaries of what I'm responsible for and what the
Mm.
pastor's responsible for. But really, it should be about, are you getting built up? Are you growing? Are you becoming more who you are? Or is this constant sort of, gee, that doesn't really fit me, and sort of a constant grading, like it's not fitting right. And if it's not fitting right, it's not necessarily that you're being rebellious. It might be that that's not the place for you.
Mm. Yeah, no, that's real encouragement. We I could tell you stories,
Yeah.
but I'll tell them of other people. We had, a friend and I went to this seminar down in the States, Randy Clark actually, and it was awesome, incredible. I just had lots of fun down there. And when we were down there, he said, like, we were both attending the same church, and he said, "Well, did you ask the pastor if we can go?" And I'm like, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
But he came from a church where there could be no teaching outside of what they taught.
Oh, wow.
And this I could tell you the church right now. It's in the city, and it doesn't come across as weird, but man. Anyway, yeah. I really like that. It's authority to build you up and not tear you down. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do pictures up. We're gonna have them posted. I'll
Okay,
put them on
that's good.
Facebook. That's I'll get Karen on that one.
Sounds
That'll
good.
be good.
Yeah.
Thank you so
And
much, Cheryl. Oh, I'm sorry.
just one other thing
Yeah, yeah.
before we close that. Spiritual authority will always keep you as a child, as a spiritual child. Whereas someone who's operating in wise spiritual authority, you will grow and become an adult spiritually.
Oh, that's good because it's all about.
Because that's what
I
we're
want,
supposed to do.
yeah,
We're
I
not
want, I
supposed to
want
be totally
my
dependent
ceiling
on
to
our
be my,
pastor.
I want my ceiling to be my kid's floor. You know,
Well, that's a good way. Yeah,
we
yeah.
want the way that I've said it actually, quoting myself. I like that. Is, um, brothers compete, but a father doesn't have to compete with the sons.
Right.
And to me, it's I guess that's healthy spiritual authority. I call them fathers and mothers.
Yeah.
And when they're a father, they're there to. I mean, a father lays down his life for the kids. He gives what he can to support and encourage and bless and strengthen and there's no competition. There's no fear. There's no um, anger. Like whatever. Anyway. Oh,
Unless you have a really bad image of a father, and then you get into having an
I
abusive
know, but I had
spiritual
a
father. So,
good
yeah,
dad, so that worked out well.
just had to throw that out.
I know. I talk in words that people don't understand because it's the same word that they have in a different context.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Cheryl, for this. And again, if you want to be in touch with Cheryl, go to EdmontonCounselingServices.com. Cheryl does Skype counseling, and if you're in Edmonton, she has an office. It's downtown, isn't it? Your office?
Um,
It's
Oliver, Glenora
downtown.
area,
Oliver. Yeah,
West
that's
Oliver, Glenora
north of the
area.
river. It's downtown.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, anyone who's watching outside of Edmonton won't have a clue what we're talking about. Anyway, so thank you, Cheryl, and God bless you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.